So now we are heading into the sixth arena, the Builder's Workshop. And this arena is pretty average, I would say, but I will, of course, as my other videos, take one card at a time and rate them from 1 to 5, where 5 is strong, good, 1 is not so good to pretty bad, and then 3 is, of course, balanced. So let's get going with the first common card, which is the Skeleton Barrel. So it's a 3-cost card. It's a barrel hanging in balloons, flying over the arena, and as it dies or breaks or so on, it does a little bit of area damage, and some skeletons are coming out and attacking the nearest building or troops. Average win rate, 3-cost elixir, which is not bad at all, not super expensive. It just doesn't seem like a popular card, even though it's actually useful in several decks, I'll think. But the win rate is, as I said, not super, but not bad. Not a super interesting card, but it's still, I would rate it 3 out of 3, just with my experience using it, and also because of the statistics. So heading on to the next common card is the Modar, a building, a long range building for 4 elixir. So this is a win condition that's usually not paired alone. Usually an offensive building, but used more and more as a defensive building as well. The statistics and use rates are like a little bit under average, or the win rate is a little bit over average. The usage rate is a little bit low. But this building, as I said, the arenas is not like the arena with the strongest or the worst card. So this fits pretty much in like a lot of the other cards with a 3 out of 5. So I will rate the Moda 3 out of 5, yeah. And going to the rare cards, the Flying Machine. Well, as the name says, it's a flying machine that shoots and costs 4 elixir. And it's actually quite good, I think. Kind of comparable to the Musketeer, and it's not as popular at all. It doesn't have quite as good win rate, but it's actually pretty good. The fact that it's flying is very nice. It's hard to rate, I think. I think it's a 3, and the statistic says it's around 3. It could be a 4. It used to be 4 when it had a little bit faster attack rate, but a 3 seems like the place it is now, and it's good that it's balanced. We want all the cards to be balanced, but of course, if all the cards were balanced, I wouldn't be sharing this video. So moving on to the next card is called the Rocket. It's a rare card. It's a spell. It costs 6, and it does a ridiculous amount of damage to troops, like ridiculous much, and also very high tower damage. I hate to play against it when people poked your towers, and right before the game's end, you see it coming and killing your building. Well, it doesn't necessarily, just because I don't like the card, it doesn't, or to play against it doesn't mean that it's broken, not at all. The statistics is pretty average, and it's part of the luck bait deck that's pretty strong, but the card itself is not like, it's not bad, but it's not strong or broken at all. So as the statistics also show, it's pretty balanced. So that means it's a 3 out of 5. And then we move on to the epic cards in the arena. And the first one is the Balloon. Another card I really dislike, yes. So flying balloon with a skeleton bomber throwing bombs at your towers and does so much damage. It's like a slow, painful death when you see it come flying over to your tower. The thing is with the card, it's kind of as other cards I mentioned, like the minion horde, like with the prince, it's a high risk, high reward card. So either you get your balloon countered cost 5 for just bats or something lower, or it will just go over to the tower if you support it well and your opponent has used all its counters to it, and just kill the tower like that. Yes, very, very cancer-ish card in my opinion. But the statistic says 3 out of, to me as well by my experience, 3 out of 5. A very popular card in the mid arenas and is pretty good to ladder with, and is very good with the Lava Hound. But yep, that's it. So the Expo used to be crap, then it got buffed, now it's good. Now it's very niche. It seems like there's only a very few decks, especially with the Tesla Tower, where it actually works. At least what I read and what I'm experienced and can tell. So therefore the card is quite strong now, but just because it's so like niche and only works in like 1 or 2 decks very well, I would give it a 3 out of 5, where people might argue it's a 4 out of 4, but paired with the Tesla, very, very strong card. It's grown in popularity, but it's not super popular, so therefore it could be a reason why you would play with a Expo deck, just not to play with what everybody else is doing. But it's definitely worthwhile, but there are better cards. Heading on to the Legendaries, and as I said, there are better cards. Well, this card at least is a 5 out of 5 rating. It's the lock. It's in so many decks, over 30% in Legendary Arena. Such a high win rate, pretty much constantly, and the cost, the worth you get out of having it in your deck is pretty good. It feels like you need like a lock, maybe, and then a sap or a giant snowball in your deck. Just 2 small spells and even a big spell. It's just the lock is just such a useful card, and the statistics also says it all. So no bother arguing. I would give it 5 out of 5. Moving to the last card, which is also of course a legendary, is the Infernal Dragon. So it's a very good single target unit, poorly at dealing with horde units. The thing is, there's a lot of cards that counters and breaks the Infernal Ray that quickly escalates and deal a lot of damage over time. And more has been introduced, it feels like. So it used to be pretty good, and now it seems pretty average, and the statistics also say that it's an average card with average win rate. So therefore I would give it 3 out of 5, the Infernal Dragon, but still a very like useful card to have in your deck. Like it should be with all deck cards, I think that it's good at something, but very good at something, but very bad at something else. That's exactly what the essence of the Infernal Dragon is. So yeah, still a useful card. That was the end of the Arena 6, or the 6th Arena. Some good cards, but in general a very average arena. And then the very good and useful card, legendary card called the Log. So yeah,